First off, I want to give a shout out to my little bruh, his hat, his clothing line, CBM, Changing Brothers Mentality. I wish you well, bro. Like, for real. That's all we want in this life is for people to wish us well. You know what I mean? You could be out here doing negative. You got supporters. You feel what I'm saying? You got supporters. This goes for the fellas and the females. You know what I mean? Because Lord knows I've had a lot of supporters with anything that I was doing negative. Supporters, people wanting to invest, people wanting to be down. You know what I mean? It ain't only people, it's your so-called friends, your so-called relationships, you know what I mean? And like, when it comes down to doing something positive, you get all kind of criticism, all kind of negative feedback, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Like, everything that I've always wanted to do positive, there was always somebody shooting me down. You know what I mean? Oh, well, you need to do like this. You need to do, well, just don't do this. Just don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need it. I don't need to hear that. Nobody needs to hear that when they're in the process of changing their life, doing something in a positive manner, nothing negative in these streets. You know what I mean? When you're trying to do something to create generational wealth for your kids, your grandkids, you know what I mean, for generations to come. You know what I mean? Wish that person well. And if you can't wish me well, stay the hell away from me. You know what I mean? Because all of that negativity that comes along with that shit is really draining and it's crippling. And if these are people that are that you think are in your corner, these are people you need to truly separate yourself from, because they don't wish you well. They just want to see you not succeed at something positive. They want to see you do negative because, you know, that's what their mindset is, negative. You know what I mean? I just want to be around positive people, and like the hat says, I just want to change brothers' mentality and sisters, because, you know, a sister that you think is in your corner will be your biggest fucking obstacle ever. You know what I mean? Your biggest obstacle. Because, and it goes vice versa. You know what I mean? If you a female and you trying to do something positive and you ain't got a man in your corner that's like pushing you in that direction, like just wishing you the best, wishing you success, you know what I mean? Wishing everything turns out the way you look at it turning out and better. You know what I mean? Separate yourself from them relationships, separate yourself from those people, because it's like I was told, man. Some of us have a work for a motherfucker attitude, and some of us have a work for ourself attitude. And a motherfucker that has a work for another motherfucker attitude will never see what a work for itself person has. You know what I mean? Their vision ain't that far. They can't see that far ahead. You know what I mean? And one thing that you really and truly have to do, no matter how much it may hurt you, no matter how much it may have you in a bad place, you need to separate yourself until you get to where you going. And another thing that I've learned, don't tell people what you plan on doing. Don't tell people your positive things. Only you can tell certain people, but you can't tell everybody. You know what I mean? Because everybody doesn't have that vision that you have. And anybody that doesn't have that vision is going to poke holes in everything that you do. They're going to compare you to this one. They're going to compare you to that one. They're not going to wish you well. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one song that out of all of the 50 Cent series that he did that I really loved the most. is the intro song for the BMF. You know what I mean? Just wish me well. Wish me luck. You know what I mean? Whatever. But time will reveal things, and during these times, you'll eventually sit and you'll look back and you'll say, you know what? This, that, and the third from this person over the course of time has never been a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, you could be ready to start a trucking company, have everything figured out, but motherfucker know you for selling drugs or scheming, doing scams. They don't see you as doing that. They just see you as the drug dealer or the scammer or whatever it is, the stick-up kid, whatever it is. They don't see you as a successful person, entrepreneur mindset. But one thing that they neglect to remember is every hustler is an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? But it's where you put your interest in entrepreneurship. Like, my interests don't align with the shit going on in the streets anymore, with the drugs, anything. You know what I mean? I never was a scammer, but yeah, 52-year-old man, you know what I mean? I was knee deep in these streets, South Jamaica, Queens. But I don't condone that shit. I look at it as the foundation of what turned me into what I am and turned me into who I am. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of deceit, mistrust, lies. I just see everything in that lifestyle, everything that I attracted to, everybody that I attracted to was not meant for my elevation. You know what I mean? Because, like they say, you got to leave your past in your past. You know what I mean? Don't look in the rearview mirror. And if you've been there and you've reaped and enjoyed some of the spoils of the things that I've done back then, I hope that lasts. I hope that journey is there to carry on forever. If not, so be it. But the new journey that I'm on, everybody that was dealing with me back in my negative day, well, not everybody, majority, will not be able to see or be a part of. I'm not saying they're not going to see, because people see social media, you know what I mean? People see, we post shit, we post our celebrations, we post our downfalls, we post everything, but they won't be a part of the new growth. You know what I mean? Because new growth requires shedding. You know what I mean? Like when a plant grows and the new growth of that plant comes. Even when your hair grows, the split ends, things you have to shed because there's a new growth. So you have to shed, clip off certain people from you. You know what I mean? You have to, now I ain't saying clip them off, no way, shape, or form, but you have to separate yourselves from them. You know what I mean? And sometimes it could be hard, sometimes it could be difficult. And sometimes people just need that outlet so they could just separate from you too. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is meant forever. Everything has an expiration date. You know what I mean? Everything and every season. You know what I mean? Every season there's a new. That expiration date for fall cut off. Now we running into winter. Winter expiration date cut off. We running into spring. You know what I mean? Everything has an expiration date. That goes for friendships, relationships. Sometimes, even though it's hard to say, family ships. But these are things that ultimately have to be done for you as a person to grow. So on that note, all I ask, I'm not asking, I don't want anything from anybody. But if you are somebody that I feel I could come to and discuss future plans of opportunity and growth, all I want is for you to do is wish me well. Wish me luck. You feel what I'm saying? Peace and love. And anybody out there doing anything positive that have made a 360 from the negative, I wish you well. I wish you luck. And I'm gone.